I'm waiting for the day when I don't have to set up two computers differently. I want the same data on both computers. How do we do that? How do we do that? Does anyone in here know how you can mirror two Macs? So if I have a Mac Pro and a MacBook Pro, it always has all the same files on it at all times. Why is that not possible? That's the setup I want. I want to have a Mac Pro at the studio, a MacBook Pro at the house. Like if I install a plugin on Ableton on the Mac Pro, it'll automatically be installed on the MacBook Pro. How do you do that? How the f do you do that? Why is that not possible? Remote desktop doesn't cut it. I want two computers with their hard drives to have the same exact information. When I log into my Mac Pro and I log into my MacBook Pro, everything is all exactly the same. So if I install a plugin on my laptop, it's also installed on my Mac Pro. Mapped network drive is my answer. Is that true? Is that really true though? Or is that just running through the network? I want my computer to run off hardware, like on the computer. I don't want it to be through the internet. Is there a way I can like clone it? How do I do that? Why is that not possible right now? I feel like that would just make my life so easy. 5 hands beats, exactly. Exactly. My iPad and my iPhone have the same apps and everything. How do I do that? Apple, if you're listening, do that. And I will buy whatever it is. Just do that. I think it gets tricky with needing to make sure each computer is not updating the same set of files at the same time. Okay. But there's got to be a way. I mean, guys, is that like the most intense thing to ask for? I just want two computers that have the same thing on it. And when I change one, it changes the other. Why is that so hard? You can do it? How can you do it, these keys? I don't want it to be network. I want it to be physical. What if I get my laptop and my Mac Pro, bring it in and just connect it through like a USB-C or Thunderbolt 3? Is there a way to just make them communicate and become the same computer? How would that work? Yeah, Ashro, there could be a smart feature that you can send the app itself to all computers in a family of computers. That's what I want. How does that work? We got to get Tim Cook in the Discord and talk with him. Okay, Timber, ad hoc network is the closest thing we have. So I'm going to research that then. I really don't know why that's so difficult. Do you guys feel me on that? I'd want them to have the same OS, same programs, et cetera, et cetera. If I install a program on my Mac Pro, I can also have it on my MacBook Pro. I want them to have the same files, same programs, everything. I want them to be a mirror. So when I travel and I install some new plugins on my Mac Pro, it'll automatically be on my MacBook Pro. iCloud sucks. I'm just going to say it. iCloud is terrible. And yeah, these keys, I do understand that if I delete it on one, it deletes on the other. That's actually how I want it to operate. I want it to be like I have one computer, but I'm just using it on two computers. It happens on my iPad and my iPhone. What I want to have is multiple computers with the same exact files on it. That's all. So if I install Isotope RX8 on my Mac Pro, it'll automatically be on my MacBook Pro. Even if I have to connect them through a Thunderbolt 3 cable and do an update. Maybe a time machine would be it. So what I'd do is I'd back up the computer to a time machine. That's just so much work though. Yeah, maybe booting off the NAS could work. I think it would also be an issue with copy protection because if I install a plugin, I'd have to register it on both computers. So I think that's the issue there. Actually, Tommy, now that you mentioned the time machine, when I've bought a new computer and I backed up from Time Machine, it worked. I had to go in and I needed to register all the plugins. So that's the problem. When you buy a new laptop, and say, like for example, I have Final Cut Pro and Logic on the new laptop. I can just click download and it will download because it has my system ID attached to my Apple ID. So it would be cool if plugins, instead of having an iLock system, it could have an Apple ID system or something like that. It would connect through the Apple ID so I could download Sketch Cassette through my Apple ID.